All right, hello. I've developed this yin yoga class with the intention of expansion in the upper body, the heart space, creating some peace and some inner peace and stillness and an open, soft heart. So that is the intention of class, and please feel free to take a comfortable seat. So a seat in Sukhasana, and just in your comfortable seat in Sukhasana, place your hands on your knees, palms facing up, and just settle into your space. Feel your sit bones planted on your mat. Maybe any soft, gentle sounds in your environment. Feel the room temperature, the air on your cheeks, your skin. Take a deep breath in and slow, smooth breath out. Notice any aromas in the air. And opening your eyes, noticing the room. We're going to start with a pranayama technique using a hand mudra. So this is called Brahmari bee breath. And so just to invite the senses to draw inwards and to bring inner peace and stillness, kind of calm the fluctuations of the mind. This vibration, this bee breath, I always like to think of as a massage to the brain, like very calming to the nervous system. So we'll start with hand mudra, and I'll prompt deep inhale, and on the exhale we're going to make a humming sound, and we'll take 5 rounds of this. So deep breath in, exhale, and I'm just demonstrating first. So we'll do that and take 5 rounds of that. Breathing, deep breath in, exhaling, making that bee sound, that Brahmari bee noise that is humming, and vibration in the throat chakra, calming to the brain. And then we'll take our hand mudra with that. So we're going to place our thumbs on our ear flaps and our pointer fingers on the eyelids, the middle finger at the base of the nose, ring finger top lip, and pinky finger below the bottom lip. So I know this looks kind of silly, but this does help draw in all the senses as we take our rounds of bee breath. So and a hand mudra just amplifies any intention or pranayama technique in our practice. So taking our hand mudra, finger placement here, and we'll start and take 5 rounds. And when you're done, just settle your hands back on your knees and take a seat in, continuing to take your seat in Sukhasana. All right, we'll start. So 5 rounds. When you're done with your rounds of B breath. Just let those vibrations settle into the brain, into the body. Feel how that blocked out our external stimuli and allowed the senses to find some peace. All right, moving on from that pranayama technique, we'll take Gomukhasana, and actually we're gonna do fire log legs and Gomukhasana arms. So left shin on the earth, and the leg is coming pretty straight out from the hip. So leg straight out and shin parallel to the top of the mat, and placing the right ankle on the left knee. And so the legs are stacked. I'll scoot back here. My block. So legs are stacked like fire log legs. And taking the strap, and I'm going to turn around so it can be seen here. So again, left shin on the earth, right shin stacked on top of the left shin. And if this doesn't feel good, you can take the Gomukhasana legs where the knees are stacked, and this is actually another way to be in this position with the legs. So either way, I'm gonna do the fire log legs. I'm gonna turn around so you can see the hands here and the arms. So left shin on the earth, right leg on top, the right arm out to the side, palm facing up, and shimmying that hand up through the middle of the scapula, and taking the strap, this left arm up, keeping the bicep towards the ear, and bending that arm back behind the head, and shimmying those fingertips together. So working those hands towards each other, and keeping the spine nice and straight and long. And we're gonna hold this asana for a few minutes. So find where you can play with your edge, where you feel sensation but do not feel pain. And just dance around that edge. Feeling a nice release in the shoulder. I do, at least. Wherever you feel this, just being a witness to those sensations. And noticing if that sensation is getting louder, or maybe your muscles are easing into it and it's becoming a little less resistant, a little softer. And if so, we can take that a little tighter. And just finding your comfortable depth. And sitting with this depth. And being a witness to the sensations that arise. Maybe feeling that depth and inviting a release. Or maybe if it becomes too much, if the sensation becomes painful, we don't want pain, so you can always back out of the depth and release a little bit. or if it doesn't serve you, you can back out completely. And gently releasing. Ooh. We're going to take it to the other side. So the opposite leg, right leg on the bottom, left leg on top. And again, you can take the Gomukhasana legs where the knees are stacked and the foot's placed on the earth, and then this other foot, let's go back here, is placed on the earth as well. So with these legs, the bottom leg that's on the earth is pointed kind of like a triangle towards the top of the mat. And then the other leg is stacked on top with the knees. I'm a little crooked here, so like that. But I will take the fire log legs. So left shin stacked on the right shin. And left arm out, palm facing out. So I'm going to turn around so you can see here. The left hand out, palm facing out, and shimmying that palm towards the center of the scapula, the shoulder blade. Taking the strap in the right hand, and the arm comes up, bicep towards the ear, and bending that right elbow until you can reach the strap, and shimmying the fingers a little closer together. And again, finding that comfortable depth. So sitting with your edge, being a witness to any message, and not going where that message is screaming, but just whispering, and then dancing around that edge. So finding that comfortable depth, and maybe moving a little deeper as we introduce this shape into our body, maybe finding a little bit more depth. And then settling into your comfortable depth where you can feel a sensation, a message, and trying to sit with that, be a witness to that, and release. We'll stay here for a couple minutes. And keeping length in the spine. Sit bones are planted into the earth. Taking slow, smooth breaths. And gently releasing the strap. And releasing the legs. And taking the soles of the feet together, you can take blocks here and place them under the knees if that feels a little bit more supported, or if you can let the knees just rest out, whatever feels good, or you can stay here for just a couple moments just to release that stretch in the hip that we did and the shoulders. So taking Baddha Konasana with the legs here, and you can scoot your heels a little closer, and we're going to take eagle arms, so arms out to a T, and just to release those shoulder blades, that was a lot of pulling the arms down and back. So we're going to release in the opposite direction. So right arm under, left arm on top, and you can just give yourself a hug here, or take your eagle arms and just take a couple breaths here. In eagle arms, the palms are working towards meeting, and if not, again, you can just give yourself a hug and releasing those shoulders, creating some openness in the heart space, the shoulders, the chest. And take a couple smooth breaths here. And release. So we're going to take it to the other side. So arms out to a T, left arm under, right arm on top. You can give yourself a hug here, or take your eagle arms. Take a couple smooth, deep breaths here. Just feeling how this is opening up the shoulders in the opposite direction. Breathing into that heart space in the back. And release. Let's just take our legs, our feet to the outer edge of the yoga mat, and drop the right knee towards the center, and the left knee can fall out to the side. And back to center, left knee towards the center, right knee out to the side. Just releasing that fire log legs in Baddha Konasana. All right, moving to standing on the knees and curling the toes under for broken toe pose. So in this pose, I think you can see, maybe I'll turn around. So the toes are curled completely under. Even moving the little pinky toe, get all the toes curled under, and just slowly descending the hips down towards the heels. And if this is too much, you can take a pillow and maybe sit, a pillow or a bolster, and maybe sit up a little higher so it's not so much pressure. But if you can, settle the hips all the way down to the heels. We're going to sit here for a few minutes, feeling a nice stretch in the fascia in the feet and the toes. Can be a pretty intense sensation. So again, find your comfortable edge where you can just be a witness to these sensations, the tightness that we might feel, the release. That sensation can build, or maybe it dissipates. Just be a witness to whatever is signaling in your body and your brain. And take some smooth, deep breaths. I'm slowly coming out of this broken toe pose and moving into tabletop. Just tap the tops of the feet on the mat to release that. I'm gonna release the feet and the ankles the other way. So a few ways we can do this. We can take a block and we're gonna take Virasana. And so knees together and ankles move out just a few inches, each ankle moving out. And you can take a block and sit on a block here. So feeling a nice stretch on the top of the ankle or wherever you feel this. Maybe feeling a release in the legs. And just sitting here for a few minutes. Feeling an opposite stretch, so stretch the back feet. Now we're stretching the whole tops of the feet and the ankles. And again, being a witness to any sensations that arise. Finding that depth that we can play with, where it's not too deep to produce pain, but not too easy to have no sensation. And gently coming out of our seat on our block or earth in between our heels, coming out of that. And again, let's just tap the feet, not on my block, tap the feet on the earth just to release that. You roll the ankles around in circles and just release that deep ankle stretch. Maybe point the toes, retract the toes. Just release out of that. Moving into child's pose, so big toes touch, knees widen out to the outer edge of the mat, and stretching, walking the arms forward so that the arms are extended out in front of the head, and letting the hips settle, the forehead melt towards the mat, the heart melting towards the earth. Let's actually take our blocks and place our blocks on our mat. You can place your hands on your blocks for a little bit of a deeper shoulder, heart opener. Letting if this feels good in your body. If this is too intense, then just move the blocks. So again, I'll show you where my hands are like this on the blocks. And melting into child's pose with the hands on the blocks. And we'll be in child's pose position with the legs for a while. So find where your hips are settled and comfortable. We'll take some child's pose variations with the arms to open up through the heart space, the heart chakra, the shoulders, the back, upper back. So again, acknowledge any sensations in the body, wherever you feel this. And just breathe. Be open to maybe slight release of tension, slight discomfort. And seeing if through stillness of the mind and focusing on the breath, we can find some release. Just inviting that, not forcing, maybe just trying, playing with that edge, just dance with that edge. Feeling that heart space open, also supported by the mat, by the earth. And gently releasing the hands off the blocks and pushing yourself upright. So legs are still in child's pose position. Ooh, that was relaxing. Planting the hands on the mat. So palms planted on the mat. Inhale, lift the right arm up to the sky. Feel a nice spinal twist. And reach and stretch. And exhale, thread the needle, plant the right shoulder and right ear on the mat. And you can use your left hand or left fingertips can be tented or palm placed on the mat, gently pressing to deepen this twist. We'll hold here for a couple of minutes. So again, finding where we can maybe press into the earth a little bit to find a deeper twist, a deeper stretch in the shoulder. And taking smooth, natural breaths. You can even take this left hand and you can take a bind, working those fingertips towards the right hip crease. And releasing that bind or the tented fingers, place the left palm back onto the mat. And inhale, lifting the right arm back up to the sky, reach, deep breath in. And exhale, plant that right hand back on the mat. We're gonna take it to the other side. Inhale, lift the left arm high, reach the fingertips. Take a couple breaths here. Really feel a nice spinal twist and reach. And exhale, thread the needle. So right arm or left arm threads through this right arm hole. Rest the left shoulder, left ear on the mat. And again, you can tent your fingertips here and press them into the earth like this, or you can place your palm, or you can take that bind. We'll rest here for a couple minutes. And again, use the leverage of the right hand to press into the earth to find a deeper twist. You feeling a little bit more of a release in the shoulder or not. Wherever you feel this, just be a witness. Acknowledge those sensations. You can take that bind if that feels comfortable, working these right fingertips towards the left hip crease. And slowly releasing that bind or the tented fingers, place the right palm into the mat. And inhale, lift those left fingertips high to the sky. Exhale, melt that left hand back down to the mat. It was a long time in child's pose with the legs. So let's just take and extend the legs long, bringing fresh blood to the knees and the legs. You can point your toes up for Dandasana. And moving back into a tabletop. from tabletop. Walk the right knee towards the right wrist and shimmy the heel towards the heel and toe towards the left wrist. So moving this shin towards the top of the mat, or this leg can be very bent, just making sure the hips are parallel or even to the mat, to the earth, so not sitting on the right hip or collapsing over. And if this feels okay and you don't feel a lot of sensation, you can move the shin up a little bit higher towards the top of the mat, so parallel to the top of the mat. You should feel a sensation in the right hip. So for pigeon pose here, and in pigeon pose, the back left leg and leg muscles, quadriceps are on the earth, and the top of the foot is on the earth, like leg is straight. So once we find our comfortable position here in pigeon, we're gonna go ahead and melt down. For sleeping pigeon, I like to rest my forehead on a block, or you can stack your fists and rest your forehead on your fists, or you can stay upright if this is enough sensation. You can also lift yourself up, put forearms on a block if this is a comfortable depth for you. So find your comfortable depth wherever that may be. And we will rest here for a good few minutes in sleeping pigeon. And this is typically felt in the hip. If not, that's okay. Just acknowledge any messages from the body, any sensations. And take some smooth, deep breaths, settling into this asana for a good few minutes. Maybe finding a little more depth, letting your heart and head melt a little closer to the mat, if that feels within your depth, within your comfortable, reachable depth. Again, wanting to feel some discomfort, some sensation, but without pain. Just dancing around that edge. And slowly lifting the head. And I always like to tuck the back left toes under and scoot that leg forward a little bit because we tend to sink into pigeon. And gently pushing that right leg back. And take some hip circles just to release from that hold. So moving the hips in a circular direction. And then move the hips in the opposite direction. Wonderful. And now from tabletop, again, shifting that, so other side, opposite side, shifting that left knee towards the left wrist, and then toe healing, wiggling this foot, can lift it up, assist it. And again, working this shin towards a comfortable depth. Again, we want to feel something. We don't want to feel pain, but we do want to feel a sensation, maybe slight discomfort, where we feel some tightness in the body, something that we can work on slowly releasing by holding this asana for a few minutes. So finding your comfortable depth, and this leg is long and straight on the mat, top of the foot planted into the mat. And slowly reclining down, forearms can be on a block or all the way down to the mat. Maybe pausing here first. So maybe taking a few moments, a few breaths on the forearms just to introduce this new shape on the left side. Let go of any holding. Just let this new shape, new sensations be introduced onto the left side. And now find your depth, maybe shimmying the shin up a little higher, sinking that back right leg a little further, maybe placing your forehead on a block or on stacked fists, or maybe melting your head and heart all the way down to the mat, if that depth is in your practice, if that feels accessible in your body. If not, that's perfectly okay. And just settling into your depth where you feel that sensation, that edge, something we can play with and release. And let your breath come smooth and natural. And gently moving the block to the side, planting the hands and pushing into an upright pigeon. Okay, shifting that back right leg up just a little bit and sending that left leg back into tabletop. And we'll take some hip circles once again. So moving the hips in a clockwise direction, circular direction. You can take little circles or maybe really big, deep circles. And taking it to the opposite direction. And back to center. And walking the hands all the way back, curling the toes under to push the knees up. You can start with one foot here. Move a little bit closer. You can start with one foot first and then stepping that other foot up. So we're standing on our feet and our heels and maybe moving back and forth a little bit to settle into a Malasana squat. Another great place for Malasana squat is you can take a block and sit on a block here and place the heels, trying to work the heels towards the earth. If not, that's okay. You can walk those feet more forward if that feels more comfortable. Just finding your stance for Malasana squat. Pressing the elbows into the knees, hands together at heart center. That open, strong, soft heart. And we'll sit here in Malasana squat for a few minutes. And in Malasana squat, trying to take the curvature, the hunching out of the back. So really extending through the spine, through the neck, through the crown of the head. Crown of the head reaching towards the ceiling as we pet a kitty cat or gently press our hands into our heart and our elbows into our knees to open up through the hips. And feeling the beautiful duality of being open and soft, yet grounded and strong and planted at the same time. Feeling the feet stable and grounded. Noticing any sensations in the body. Gathering all that goodness at the heart center. All that openness. And gently releasing the hands. You can place the hands on the mat and support yourself to take a comfortable seat. Actually, let's gather and roll our ankles out a little bit and gather our legs towards our chest and wrap your hands, your arms around your legs, around your knees, around your shins. And let your head fall towards center. And just really squeeze yourself. Give yourself a squeezy love hug. Find that center, that peace, that stillness. Tell yourself something kind. Breathe into the back body, the upper part of the back, behind the heart. Feel expansion in that those upper ribs behind the heart. And gently release. We're gonna set up for supported fish. I think I will face this way. So I've been playing with the different depths of the block. So you can have the block down flat and place this behind the heart. So behind the sternum, heart area, placing the scapula on the block. You can have it higher up. And so in fish pose, the hands are resting to the side and opening it up through the heart, the throat chakra, and letting the head fall back. So, and playing with the block and finding your comfortable depth. And moving it up a little bit or down so that you can rest your hands to the side. This way so you can see, this way here. And find your comfortable depth, comfortable position where you can stay here for a few minutes. Letting the top of the head rest on the mat, on the earth. I'm tucking my fingers below my sit bones just a little bit. And feeling expansion and openness in the heart and the throat and the entire front, soft body. And slowly releasing the hands from underneath the sit bones. You can bend the legs and let the legs fall to the side. And slowly roll over to the side, moving this block out from beneath you. And laying completely down for Shavasana. So letting the legs go long, the entire body lay down, hands come out to the side. The feet can splay open. Letting your entire body release into Shavasana. And just stay in Shavasana, stay in that final resting pose, and let your entire body have ease. Feel your heels planted into the mat. Feel the backs of your legs resting on the earth, heavy and soft. Feel your sit bones, so soft and heavy. Feel your entire back body, your shoulders, scapula, melting into the mat. Feel your arms draped to your side, soft and heavy. Feel the back of your head resting on your mat. Your head is heavy like a bowling ball. Let your entire face have ease. Let go of any tightness, any tension in the jaw. Maybe wiggle your jaw around. Wiggle your mouth around. And release any holding in the face. Let your tongue just float in your mouth. Do an entire body scan from head to toe. And see if you can release any tension, any holding. Just completely soften. Completely melt into your mat like wet sand, dripping down heavy and soft. Any thoughts that arise, you can acknowledge those thoughts and then let them float by like fluffy little clouds. Hold on to nothing in this moment. No tension, no thoughts. Let it all melt away. And slowly invite a little bit of soft movement into your fingers and toes. And wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe roll your wrists and your ankles. Gently roll over to either side and pause for a moment in fetal position. Take a breath there before you slowly push yourself to uprighted seated position in Sukhasana, so comfortable seat. You can keep your eyes soft and heavy or closed. Place your hands at your heart. Feel the warm embrace of your hands at your heart center, your heart space. Like a gentle hug to your heart. Some acknowledgement for the openness we've created, we've cultivated, that growth and release and space in the heart. And just acknowledge any intention, message, sankalpa, or maybe just quietness and stillness. Gently release your hands from your heart. We're going to take a hand mudra, so lotus with the hands. So let the pinkies meet and then the thumbs meet, so like a blossoming lotus, a beautiful blossoming lotus flower. We're going to place the lotus flower at our heart center. So a hand mudra just amplifies whatever intention, so all of that goodness or whatever you wanted to release or open in the heart, just have that lotus flower at the heart with that in mind. And I'll chant Om, universal sound, universal acknowledgement, one time. I'll prompt a deep breath in, and on the exhale, chant Om. So deep breath in. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.